Job 101.1 WJRR, Orlando's rock station. It's the Lynch and Taco Show. Good morning. I'm Pat Lynch. Taco Bob.
Oh, yeah. Ready to tech it out.
It's brought to you by Petty's Meats this morning on State Road 434 in Longwood, just west of I-4.
Look, I'm right now looking at Petty's Meats website, and look at that meat goodness right there. The entire case of all the different meats. You know, whether you're looking for a nice ribeye or a New York strip filet mignon, they have it all at Petty's Meats. And see those front doors right there? You know what I think when I see those, Pat?
As soon as you walk through them, you beeline, immediately take off to the left back corner of the store and draw yourself a nice cold one to enjoy while you browse at Petty's.
Yeah, complimentary ice cold beer from Petty's. Good people over there. They're like family to Lynch and I. If you haven't been to Petty's, give them a try.
Top quality.
Yeah.
Top quality. Just keep that in mind for maybe you get some football gatherings this weekend for the playoffs. Petty's, you're going to have what you're looking for.
Whether it's a dessert or an appetizer or anything in between, they have it all. Petty's Meats. Thank you all at Petty's. We love you.
All right, some of your science and technology news for this week. If you're a Verizon customer, you might have had some issues starting yesterday afternoon. Degrees of difficulty varied depending on what services you had and what part of the country you were in. But the outages began early in the afternoon, and things didn't get resolved until about 10:30 last night.
That's pretty tough for people that, use their phone for work.
Verizon said it plans to provide account credits to those affected and will share more details soon, although they are not sharing details on what exactly the issue was. Although Verizon, has company in this area, Amazon Web Services had that huge outage. There was a widespread AT&T outage. In all of these, huge companies, when their systems go down, things come to a crawl or a halt, and you don't realize how dependent you are on some of this technology until it doesn't work right.
Speaking of outages, it was about this time last week that we were talking about your internet outage, and then once it finally was resolved, you said, all right, I'm out on that, and you went to a new company. How's the new company?
Maybe I'll save some of that for the podcast.
Just give me maybe a thumbs up or a thumbs...
Oh, I couldn't be happier.
Okay, good.
And it was a great feeling firing somebody.
Look at that. Are they on the list? We need to talk to the boss man, Rick, about bringing the list back for some prizing.
Automakers from around the world are showing off their latest models. Yesterday was the start of the Detroit Auto Show. The annual showcase began yesterday at the Huntington Place Convention Center in Detroit. Now, this week, it's only open to the media and auto industry, allowed on the showroom floor. The public will be invited to come in starting Saturday, and it runs through the 25th, featuring over 24 car brands there, showing off their new vehicles, their prototypes, and some of the latest electric and self-driving models, all things auto enthusiasts on display at the Detroit Auto Show. Always a huge event.
Is Kid Rock that?
I couldn't speak to that, so you'd have to ask him.
I bet. I bet he is at some point.
An international study looking into the use of artificial intelligence in grades K through 12 throughout 50 different countries has found that the risks exceed the benefits. Now, in the end, the study found that using AI in education can undermine children's foundational development. The study also showed that damage that's already been done by AI is kind of daunting, but it is fixable. Now, on the upside, AI has been shown to help younger kids learn to read and write and can make the job of teachers a little bit easier in a lot of areas. But the downside, however, are negative effects on the social and cognitive developments of a younger child when it comes to AI. We're still very new into this in the big scheme of things.
Yeah,
so
don't be rushing into doing stuff where we're reliant on that, please.
You ever take the bait on something you saw on TikTok or one of the other socials? Hey, buy this, try this, use this for that. Americans collectively have wasted approximately $8.7 billion chasing TikTok trends that you end up hating in about 6 months. So you may see something today on TikTok and think, that's a great idea, and it's only $30 to buy that thing, and you go and you buy it, and down the road you find out, like, why did I waste money on this?
You're part of the billions. So note to self, don't do the impulse buy.
That's exactly what this is.
I know
it plays on that, and once you put the dollar figure, that staggering dollar figure on it, it becomes pretty clear how many of us fall for stuff like that.
And I've fallen for impulse buys.
All of us do.
I've also pitched some of them.
More and more Americans are taking time to unplug, and I've been advocating for this for years. Nearly half of Americans are spending less time looking at screens, and it seems to be making them happier. This is new information from Talker Research. They found that actually Gen Z is leading the charge in this area when it comes to unplugging, with more than 60% intentionally putting down the smartphones for periods of time.
I remember when you unplugged with that mountain trip, and you said it was probably one of the most memorable vacations. Along those lines, it was perfect, right?
It's just good on so many different levels. And
I talked to my buddy, you know him, a dentist from Big Taco, and he said, hey, Bob, how was your break? Do you and the family go anywhere? And I was like, yeah, we just stayed local. He went, and they specifically went to a mountainous region to do just what you did, unplug.
And I know some of you listening right now are shaking your heads, pry the phone out of my hands and over my dead body. I get it.
Oh, yeah, we're the same.
I get it, but listen, man, you don't realize how glued to these things we've become until you pry yourself away for a little while.
Yesterday, for instance, Verizon.
Right. Well, that is a perfect example. But again, there's a difference between now I can't do work and now I'm just unplugging on my own.
Yeah.
So draw the distinction there.
That's why I nap every day, Pat. It's not because I'm tired. Of this mastermind of mine doing, the hamster in the wheel needs a rest.
Yes.
So I grab that phone and I set it to the side. Unplug.
Apple is teaming up with Google for future software updates. The companies announced yesterday that Apple will use Google's Gemini AI models to power its Apple Intelligence features, including an updated version of Siri. Apple had been using OpenAI's ChatGPT for models for certain Apple AI aspects since June of 2024. However, Google recently released a new version of Gemini in November that outperformed ChatGPT on several benchmarks, leading them to strike a deal with Apple. It's a multi-year collaboration under which the next generation of Apple Foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud technology.
That was like Spanish to me. I'm not going to lie.
Speaking of Google/Alphabet, the latest company hit the $4 trillion market cap.
God.
$4 trillion. And one final thing here. 30th anniversary yesterday for the Amber Alerts.
Oh, wow. Wait.
Do you remember how the Amber Alert came to be?
Wasn't it a little kid named Amber?
Amber Hagerman was abducted while riding bikes with her brother in 1996. Her body was found 4 days later. Unfortunately, her killer has not been found. This out of Texas. Knowing that when a child is abducted, a quick response is a critical factor in finding them, Dallas-Fort Worth area broadcasters teamed with local police to set up alerts that would be broadcast by way of the emergency alert system. President George W. Bush signed the Amber Alert into law nationally in 2003.
At least if there's some saving, at least the family of young Amber, at least they can know that they have helped out not only Amber Alerts, Silver Alerts, all the different alerts. So it sucks, that you lost your child, but it's a blessing that you're able to help.
All right, so that's some of your science and technology, this news for Tech It Out.
WJRR,
Orlando's rock station.